Hi, Dave Roscoe here. It is Friday, November 7th, 2025, and I don't have much to talk about. We covered quite a bit yesterday, but today nothing much is going on. I do want to talk about one thing, though, that I saw on X, and it's a question that's come up many times before, and I want to explore or address that here. But first, the metrics. The circulating supply is 8.3 billion pi. There were 4,804 user accounts migrated in the last 24 hours, totaling 898,000 pi. Not a lot of pi compared to the day before. There is 57.7 million pi in the Pi migration wallet, and migrations are happening now, albeit slowly. The migrated unlocked rewards are at 3.24 million pi, with 1.8 million pi unlocked in the last 24 hours and now free to be traded on the open markets. This user on X posted this question. This post is for people who keep offending me for questioning the scammers. Couple frauds have already made billions of dollars from this scam. They'll make more and more from it in the future. How much have you made from this scam yet? Can you screenshot that here, please? This is what we are questioning here. And then the question is, why did one spend 7 years for a few $100s when one can buy as much as they want for little money from exchanges in minutes without any obstacles? And that's a good question. I've heard this question before. I've asked this question to myself. And the answer is quite nuanced, and we're going to talk about that. Now, obviously, this person is not a fan of the Pi Network. They are referring to the founders as scammers. And I don't know how they can do that, but people have their own twisted notions about what a scam is and what scammers look like. But that's not the subject of what I want to talk about. The question is, why did all of us mine for the last almost 7 years when you could buy cheap pi on the exchanges and you don't have to worry about KYC or migration delays or pushing a button every day? You don't have to worry about any of that. The simplest answer is that no matter what you say, the people who mined pi got it for free. So it may be cheap now, but if it's hundreds of dollars later, then that free coin made them nothing but profit. And all they had to do was once a day push a button instead of opening up their wallets or setting up an exchange account or any of that. And mind you, they were collecting coin or earning coin for years before anyone could touch it on the markets. And I can tell you this right now. Early adopters like myself were not earning small amounts of pi, okay? I mean, at one point, I was earning well over 11 pi per hour. And I didn't have to work all that hard to build up my earning team to do that. So I don't know what you're thinking, but by the time pi went live, what I had was worth tens of thousands of dollars. And even at today's low price, if I had all of my pi in my wallet right now, it would still be worth tens of thousands of dollars. And I didn't spend a dime for that pi. Now, if the pi price goes up, then even better. I got even more money for no cash outlay. So that's why you do it. I mean, why not? It's just a simple little thing and you get free money. Who's going to say no to free money? Now, with regard to obstacles, I'm sure that this poster is referring to the need for KYC and the hassles with migration delays and all of that. Now, migration delays are what they are, okay? And she's got a point there. But guess what? KYC is coming for everybody. Pi Network was ahead of the curve, and that's going to do nothing but help them as the other projects scramble to backfill KYC. So if you're thinking of KYC as one of those obstacles, you shouldn't. It's just a deferred obstacle for the other projects. And as we've already heard with the push to get crypto included in governments and government finances, they're going to require this. It's going to be a number one requirement. You're no longer allowed to have anonymous blockchains. Those are all banned now. And if you don't adopt KYC, you're not going to be able to participate in the global market as far as the governments are concerned. And that would be a big customer to be shut out of. So you can call it an obstacle, but it's not. The Pi Network proves it was forward thinking when it required KYC. And the other thing is that if you're thinking about Pi as something you can just buy, what good is it going to do you? If you're using it as a speculative asset, okay, fine. But as Pi's utility increases, the supply on the exchange is going to go down. Why? Because people will need it. People will need Pi to participate within the Pi Network ecosystem. So the days of buying cheap Pi are going to be short-lived, relatively speaking. So yeah, you can buy it. You can buy it cheap now. But at the end of the day, we still paid nothing. You could call KYC an obstacle, but at the end of the day, everyone's going to need to do it. We just got it done early. And then keep in mind, the only reason that Pi is on the market is because people who mined it put it there. By your circular reasoning, if nobody bothered mining, then it'd be nothing to buy. So you're welcome. You have an opportunity now to buy into something when it's really low. These are the kinds of opportunities that people who missed the boat on Ethereum or Bitcoin are kicking themselves daily. You're at the very infancy of this coin. Forget about 7 years. 7 years doesn't count. The only thing it counts for are the people who mined because now they have a nice little chunk of Pi in their wallet. But short of that, it doesn't matter. All they could do in that time was build a blockchain and build nodes. That's it. And then build their user base. They couldn't really do much of anything else behind the closed mainnet. The coin went live just this year. It's an infant coin. And in this year, the Pi Network has made amazing gains in executing on its plan. So I have no doubt that it will continue, and I have no doubt that the value of Pi will increase because its demand will increase. Not just because people are willing to pay more for it, it's because the speculative aspect of it will start to evaporate when it becomes clear that you need Pi to do certain things. And then it's going to be demand driving the price up because they need to get that Pi. And the only way to get it right now is off the exchanges. And once the demand exceeds the supply, the value of Pi is going to go through the roof. Now, you can argue that's going to take a long time because there's 100 billion Pi available. But guess what? That's going to take a long time to mine at the current mining rates. It's going to take decades to mine 65 billion mineable tokens, unless they come up with some other way for people to earn them. So don't hold your breath waiting for a flood of Picoin. I totally envision a time when the fact that 2 million Picoin entering the market daily is not going to be enough to keep up with demand. If the Pi network is able to execute on its plan of building utility, it's all about the utility. If they fail to do that, then the coin is a failure. And right now, I don't see any evidence that that's going to happen. In fact, the partnerships that they are making seem to be very strategic in supporting that vision. And I hope it continues. Well, that's all I've got for today. I won't have any updates for the weekend, but I wanted to leave you with something. And I thought rebutting a naysayer's point of view was a good way to end the week. But if anything breaks, you can be sure I'll pop on here and let you know. But in the meantime, enjoy your weekend, don't panic, and remember, the success of the Pi Network begins with you. Pi to the moon. Peace.